Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Otaku having coming at you with what I'm going to start calling my manga talk. If I ever have a lot of ideas or multiple things pile up that I want to talk about that are too small to dedicate to one video, I'll compile them all in here. Now, basically, the first thing that I want to talk about is what you can expect from my page from the next couple of days. Today, if the Black Clover manga releases today, then I'll be reviewing that. A D.Gray-man review will either come today or tomorrow, which was supposed to come a long time ago. That's because I thought it ended after 52 episodes, but I realized it was 103 episodes. It will not include the 7 arcs that are in the manga that are after the 103 episodes in the anime, so it'll be an anime only review. I may go and read those later and review them. I don't know yet. Um, Additionally, you have the manga talk right now. The manga talk is going to talk about first and foremost a One Piece theory that I have, and I'm sure other people have it too, but nobody that I've seen has actually talked about it. So I'm gonna give it now. Um, it's a manga only review. It's a manga only theory. So if you haven't completed the anime or you haven't caught up in the manga, at least to where Kaido shows himself, then you might want to skip past this part or either close the video out. But anyway, the Kaido theory is if you look back when Corazon stole the devil fruit to give it to Law, there was the crew that had it. They were talking about the Ope Ope no Mi, and they were like, there was only one other guy in history that's ever had this fruit. No wonder they want to pay 5 billion berries for it or whatever. And that right there is a key part. One guy in the past had it before Law. Now, who was this one guy? We have no clue. What was his How did he die? We have no clue. All right, so here's my theory on it. Kaido the Immortal actually decided that he wanted immortality at one point during his life, and this was along the time the Ope Ope no Mi guy was alive, before Law ever ate the fruit, roughly 20 or so more years ago, at least, because if I'm not mistaken, Law somewhere in his 20s, but before Law had ate the fruit. So basically, what happened was Kaido's crew conquered this man's crew and had him forced to give Kaido the surgery, or either he was an underling in Kaido's crew and offered Kaido the surgery because he was dying anyway, or Kaido just demanded it. One or the other. But my belief is firmly that Kaido achieved immortality through the Ope Ope no Mi fruit from the guy who had it before Law. All right, so that's the One Piece bit for today. The next bit is going to move on to the controversy that I see all the time between Nanatsu no Taizai and Fairy Tail. For starters, we're going to start off with the music. Now, me personally, I think the guy who did the composer who did Nanatsu no Taizai's music definitely copied the style of the guy from Fairy Tail. It's undisputable. I mean, you could just tell it in the first couple episodes when the Meliodas was fighting the first guy after Elizabeth ran off into the woods. Basically, that little section right there was like Fairy Tail. Am I watching Fairy Tail? Now, my thoughts on Fairy Tail as opposed to Nanatsu no Taizai. Nanatsu no Taizai is what Fairy Tail could have been if the guy would have somebody else draw the fights to be more epic, because the Nanatsu no Taizai fights are super epic, but the Fairy Tail story is pretty good. I mean, most people love the Fairy Tail story, and I myself love it as well. So if they would have had the fights on the level of Nanatsu no Taizai, would have had a badass anime. Don't get me wrong, it probably would have been way up there, more like further than it is now on manga sales. It would have been towards the top. I don't know if it would compete with One Piece or anything, but it would have been in the top six, I would say. Now, what are we missing out on, anime fans? As anime fans, because manga creators generally do a duo or a single manga. Basically, if you had, what's his name? I got this over here. Sugumi Oba. Yeah, Sugumi Oba, the dude who wrote Death Note, and then take the person who wrote Psychopaths and put them together to write a story, and even possibly having Takeshi Obata, the artist from yeah, that's it, Takeshi Obata, the artist from Death Note, for the story, because his art's amazing, and whoever they had doing the background work, because I imagine he didn't do the whole artwork himself. But hey, if he did, I mean, they just further boast to his badassness. But like his drawings are so anatomically correct that it's ridiculous from what I've seen. If them two would come up with a psychological thriller manga like Death Note or Psychopaths, but with their combined works, that could easily, in my opinion, take top three in the manga sales for that entire year because those guys are geniuses, and we're missing out on that because they like to stick to duos or singles, and they could be making millions off of that, like way more than what they make now. I mean, their pay would probably still be overshadowed by like Oda's or Kishimoto's or guy that wrote Bleach, maybe, but it would still get way up there above like everything else. But then it's hard to kind of compete with Death Note because Death Note is still selling to today in large quantities. Not as large as when it was first coming out, but still, you understand what I mean. Now, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about my One Piece theory, the Nanatsu no Taizai fairy tale thing that I've been hearing so much about when Nanatsu no Taizai came out. But I just recently thought of it, so I was like, hey, let me throw it in a video while I'm doing the Kaido theory and what we're missing out on and what to expect from my channel over the next couple days. It should be a Black Clover review, this manga talk, and additionally a D.Gray-man review. And come Wednesday or Thursday, I'll be back with my One Piece review. Alright, guys, peace.